Okay, time to work on the spoiler. So I got it fiberglassed up on the front. I'm going to jack it up, take the wheels off before I can get to the back and see how it comes in right through here. I need to cut it along that edge there. That way it's a nice, you know, a nice little slope. It just matches and flows. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jack it up, get both of the fronts up in the air, and get that and go to town. Get my handy little Dremel here, and you can see it comes right up from here. So I need to just kind of gonna make like a little mark where I can kind of see. Okay, so I got that little mark there. That'll be pretty close. I'm gonna get my mask on. Using this style of tip for now. What do you call it? Die grinder, cutting wheel. Okay. Okay, let me show you. So now that I got that cut, I can take my other end that I have and grind it down even further. I'll show you what bit I have for for my Dremel here. So I'll switch that out and I'll Dremel it down, and then I'll lay fiberglass over the backside. Okay, so I'm going to switch out from the cutting wheel and go over to this little I guess you'd call it a grinder, but anyway, that'll eat right into it and you'll be able to form with that. So I'm going to switch it out, use my chuck, change it out, and then I can form that section up. Okay, so here we go. Has a little bit of an inside gap, but I want to fill this full of fiberglass and the resin, so I'm gonna put a bunch of fiberglass and resin in there and then just go over the top of it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go do the same to the other side, and you can kind of see. So now I have to blend this. So I have to come down and blend it in. So best way to do that is just take a sander and keep sanding back up and down until I get that that point or I could even add fiberglass to here and come out this way, which I might just do. That might make a little more sense. I'm thinking. Anyway, either way will work. So yeah. All right, so basically I'm just going to do that on the other side, and then, like I said, come in and just fiberglass up in there. And I'll try and wonder if I can stick my camera up in here somewhere where you can see how to actually do it. We'll mess around here. Okay, so you can kind of see how I just sanded that edge. I just kind of went a gradual. I mean, I still gotta do that wheel well, but that wheel well's edge goes right down to there. So then that way I can sand it, because I'm gonna be putting some fiberglass putty and everything right through there anyway to make it nice and smooth, and I'm gonna be sanding the hell out of it. So okay, all right, I'm gonna go do the other side, and then we're gonna fiberglass all the way down through here too. That way it looks like just one solid piece. All right, so what's gonna suck about this spoiler down here, I'm gonna have to be laying down on my side or on my back, either or. This is what this side kind of looks like as a rough sketch up right now. So yeah, to lay that fiberglass and everything, I'm gonna have to be down on my side, and then the sanding and everything. So this is probably going to be more work, at least more pain on my back than or on my body than doing these fenders. So, but yeah, we'll get it, but I might have to just move a little more slow. So before I start sanding anything down or anything like that, I need to fiberglass all the pieces up, and then start sanding from there. And then I fill it with that fiberglass bond, or Bondo. Bondo glass is what it's called. So, all right. So I will clean up some of these edges and stuff, you know, before I get too crazy though. So, but you can kind of see the direction I'm going. Okay, so to fill up these innards, I've made a bunch of small pieces like that, and I'll fiberglass those in. And then once those get in, then I got two bigger pieces that I'll go across, something like that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of this on camera for you. So what you want to do is, when you're putting glass down, go ahead and dip your brush in there, get all the surrounding areas wet. You want to get inside there wet. You don't want to get too crazy, but just enough to, you know, like I said, get that surrounding area wet with that resin. Okay, then you're gonna just place a piece in there, little at a time, and just take your brush, okay, and just dab it in, okay? And basically what that's doing is your actual fiberglass mat is what's holding, you know, the resin in there. And so that's what's causing it to, you know, the resin's actually what hardens and makes it strong. So that's what you're trying to do there. And so what I'm doing is just these tiny little ones first, get them up in these areas that need to be filled, and then you just keep dabbing, and just keep filling it up. It's not really hard at all. It just, you know, the resin's sticky and the fiberglass is itchy, you know, to some people. I don't really find it that itchy. I still, you know, well, like when you're cutting it and grinding on it, of course, you're gonna still want to wear your mask and stuff because you don't want to breathe it in. That's for sure. You don't want this nasty stuff in your lungs. So basically, see what I'm doing here is I'm just building it up. Building up that little section there. Okay. So build it up. Now we can go to let's go to a little bit bigger piece. Let's see, maybe the size. Yeah, so see, I can go all the way across there. Okay. See how that just sticks to it. Let's come down a little bit. Oh, you fell. Let's see if I can get this back up on here to where, okay, don't fall this time. Okay. So, and that's basically all you're doing to get that fiberglass to stick. Okay, so now that I got it kind of flush there, now I got my little piece here, this bigger piece, and I'm gonna run that across. Let's come down a little bit, across the whole thing. I like to work with little pieces if I have to, and work my way up. So, okay, get that in there, and then once this dries, then all you have to do is sand it down a little bit, and then go over it with your bonding glass, or bondo glass, whatever it's called. So, okay, a little bit of drip right there. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. And that's all you keep doing. You just keep building layers, more layers, and yeah. So really, that's all you're doing. I'm gonna do 3 big layers of this bigger patch, and that way it's gonna mesh right in and look really good. And like I said, once this holds, then I'll come back and just do the bondo glass. That makes sense to you guys? You know, I know a lot of people are sometimes confused, but just kind of, you know, see what I'm doing here. All right. I'm gonna get that little corner right in there a little bit better. There we go. You can kind of see how the air pockets kind of rise up out of it a little bit. All right, and this will be my last one. Let's see, it's come down. Let's do it. Yeah, let's go up a little bit higher on this one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Like I said, it's not going to look perfect anyway. Nothing. You're going to come back and sand it and bondo it and do all that other stuff anyway. So this is basically for structure, you know, and shape. So now we got that basic shape. And come on, let's see where it's sticking out just a little bit right there. Maybe I'm going to put in a little one right through here, because I don't like the way that's sitting, because it wants it to stick up. And so you got a matte type of fiberglass, and you got the woven type. The matte type bends easier. The woven type doesn't want to bend. The woven type I would use on like a really flat panel. You know, it's going to be more structural. but the mat can get into those bends and turns. So I don't know if you can see how well that covered over there now. Maybe I want a small one. Maybe a small one right through here, you think? Yeah, I think so. One right there, and I think that'll be good enough for this section. And then what I'll do after this is I'll move over to just going along the, well, I'll go get the other side first, and then I'll work on the front bumper, the front side of the bumper. And you'll have these little stickies, or you know, I call them stickies, but the little fiberglass strands sticking out, those cut off real easy as soon as you sand them down, so no big deal. Alright, I just want to kind of push that one up a little bit more in there. Whoop, too much. Push too hard. Okay. Okay. Then we'll be able to get that Bondo right through there, because what we'll have to do is we'll have to come back and sand this down and then Bondo it. All right. So if you get some of the resin on your hands, the best way to wash it off is just grab some carb choke cleaner, spray your hands with it, and it takes it right off. Or acetone, you know, if you do get a little bit on there. So that's the best way to get the stickiness off, and then just use a towel, and then of course throw the towel away. But yeah, so all right, let's kind of give a look at what I done down here. So you can see I fiberglassed the whole bottom here. So now once that dries, then I'll be able to go down and sand it all smooth, and it'll look like it's just all one piece. And then once I sand it all down, then I can come over here and fix these little corners with the Bondo Bondo glass. So yeah, see, it makes a mess, but you can see, yeah, that whole piece. That way it's gonna just look like it's all part of just the body. And then I'll go buy once it oh, what am I trying to say? I'm having a hard time speaking today. Yeah, once I'll take 60 grit and just go over it, and that'll never move ever again. So you can kind of see my whole thing there. And it's not the good thing about with the spoiler is, since it's way down low, you're not going to see it as much, so it's not going to be 100% perfect, because I'm going to be laying on my back a lot, so getting up and down is going to wear me out. So for the next few days, that's what I'm going to be doing on this, is just sanding little by little. And then, like I said, then I'll take that Bondo glass and make it all smooth on there, and then sand it down, prime it, and I'll probably paint this section and get it primed and painted, get it all done. That way I don't have to go all the way, reach underneath when I paint again. So since I'm on my back, so anyway, yeah, it's gonna look good, I think. You know, some people don't like, I already know they're not gonna like how it goes up and then comes out. I'm liking it myself. That's my personal preference. I think it's gonna look good, because it actually looks like part of the spoiler. If not, I'd have to create like a huge fiberglass mold over that, and I don't know if I like that. I like how the spoiler is, it's just part of the spoiler comes up and, you know, does its thing. So, but you can kind of see it's gonna It's gonna flow, so it'll look nice. And if I don't like that, you know, I can always come in and, like I said, just I can add a little piece there. But I think I'm gonna really, like that. I'm really, because it looks like it's just it's different. It's, you know, like I said, it's so. Now the other side. All right, so while that fiberglass is resin's drying down there, see how I'm starting to split up here? So I need more bond right in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some bond, mix just a little bit in a cup, and just try and press it as much as I can in there. That way it'll bond right here on this edge. And I'll get some vice grips and a towel and just, you know, hold that down. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I'll get a little towel and some vice grips, or I don't know, whatever I'd call them, and clamp it down, and because I'm not going to do the underside. I already did the underside, so this is fine. Just needs to be washed. So yeah, I just want that bond to hold there, and then I can come in here and just do a little fiberglass lip, you know, just a hair of lip. I can send it down right through there, and then I could just paint to match that area, and same on that other side. Because I don't want to, like I said, I already did this hood on the back side of the hood already, so it just needs to be washed down. Yeah, because I don't want to take the hood off and everything for that, and that way I could just bring it back down and start sanding it. But I need to clamp it first, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix this 610 just a little bit, put it on the edges there. That way I could get a good bond on the ends there, and then I can match the paint on the ends there. Okay, we don't need a whole lot, so instead of using the little gun, I'm just squirting it into a cup, and that way I can just kind of, I'm just going to take my finger and just stuff it in there. That way it'd be easier, because the caulking gun would be too hard to get it up in there. So it's best if I just kind of take a glove like that, come up in, and see if I can, you know, put it up in there. Okay, a little bit more. Just trying to stuff it in there as best as I can. Okay. Do this too. Just split it open a little bit. All right. On the outside there too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a toothpick and push some in too. But this stuff takes 24 hours to harden, so I'm not in a big hurry with this one, so I'll go to the other side. Get that up right in there. There we go. Okay, it's my other hand. There we go. level it out a little bit. All right. All right, since there's that little crack up there, I'm going to take this toothpick, get that bond in between, push that down in, split it, push it in as much as I can. There we go. Okay. All right, go to the other side. All right. Take my finger again and take all the big stuff off. Just kind of like caulk. Caulking your bathtub or something like that. Okay. Trust me, this stuff, this bonding agent I'm going to use to close in the gaps, so like my door gaps and all that too. So this stuff just, it hardens. So there we go. Then I'll get the clamp. Let's see, come on, clean this side a little bit. There we go. Well, maybe a little bit more on this. I want a little more bonding agent. Let's get a little more on this one. Nice and thick right through there. There we go. Okay. Get a little clamp on it. The reason I'm going to use a paper towel is because I can sand this really easy. If I use a normal towel, it might stick where I won't be happy with it. Okay, let's just put this right on the end here. Okay. Now hold that in place and I'll do the other side. Okay. There we go. Okay. Just kind of make sure that bond is right there. Okay. Clean it up a little bit more. The other side. Actually, that looks real good. I'm gonna leave that one alone. All right, so now for sure, we have to let everything sit now. So yeah, once that bond is on there, it's like I said, it turns kind of hard. It's kind of like Bondo, really, but it's even harder. It kind of turns to like actual fiberglass itself. It's some crazy stuff. So yeah, so then see, I'll be able to take these off, and the paper towel might stick a little bit but I can always sand that little area down and then just repaint it. So, sound good? And the reason I did that too is because I don't want my vice grips sticking to the hood. I'd rather have that little piece of paper instead of the vice grips. Okay, now I'm done for the night because we can't do nothing else until everything dries.